This is the Ancient and Medieval History Lecture for Tuesday, the 15th of March, 2022. Yesterday we left off looking at a clip from the movie Gladiator that showed group combat. What we're going to do now, make sure you have your notepad out, is look at several other clips that view gladiator combat of different types and that view gladiator combat differently. Then we will talk about it. So, we've just seen a bunch of very different clips on gladiator games. The first one we saw was a clip from Gladiator itself, the movie from yesterday, and then we saw another Gladiator clip with massive combat between two opponents and tigers. And then we saw a couple of clips from the 1961 film Barabbas, where you had this sort of, you know what a junk pizza is? A junk pizza is a pizza with everything on it. Yeah. It's basically got so much on it, it doesn't taste like anything in particular. It's not a meat lover's pizza. It's not a mushroom, and it's everything, including anchovies, just piled on. And there's so much that it's really too much. In high school, or junior high school, we had this thing called a suicide soda. It was the same thing. You'd go up to a soda thing, and you'd have a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of the other things. You'd mix it all together. And it didn't really taste like anything, except sugar. That's what that first scene from Barabbas looked like. You had guys fighting on a ramp, and fighting over lions, and fighting over a flaming pit of water, and there were elephants ready to trample you. And it was just so much going on. I can't imagine that was extremely entertaining.
Why were they midgets?
Okay, I'm going to say something politically incorrect. There's a similar reason why they still have midget wrestling in wrestling today.
Funny.
It's funny. Okay, to a lot of people who are evil and not with it progressively, watching two little guys fight is funny to them.
But they can't. They weren't moving as quick in the scenes because like their joints are all messed up, aren't they?
Yes. Thus, the cruelty of humor among people. Yes.
My brother and I did that soda thing.
Yeah.
But we did it as like a reference to a show, like a cartoon that we watched called Adventure Time.
Okay.
There's an episode, so we do this.
Oh, Dan. Dan is so above Adventure Time. He just gave the most contemptuous look. Adventure Time. How could you? Go on.
But yeah, anytime we play games, like board games and stuff, we would make two drinks, because that's what they did in the show. They were playing like a card game. And they made two drinks, and one mug said cool guy, and the other one said dweeb. The dweeb juice had all the stuff in the fridge mixed into it, and a bunch of like, different
potatoes, broccoli juice.
Well, yeah, all the like liquids in the fridge mixed together. The cool guy had the soda.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's what we do.
That's the way brothers are. Brothers are violent and vile. I know. I was one. That's hilarious. I'm glad neither of you died. Well, it was in the fridge. Yeah, but it's... Never mind. It's some kind of food coloring.
Oh, no, we didn't do any, like...
Okay, good.
Anything that would be, like, way too horrible.
Good.
We didn't
Good.
Put, like,
the motor oil ended up in the fridge. Oh, you gotta drink it. Okay. Then we saw a clip from Monty Python's The Life of Brian. And first of all, in the late 1970s, when that was filmed, that scene was just funny. Today, of course, it's incredibly controversial. Oh, how society has progressed and grown. Anyway, so there was that. And then the guy died of a heart attack. Because it's a theatrical thing. The thing about running around the edge of an arena is the other guy will just run across the arena and get you. But that didn't happen. The gladiator followed him around the edge of the arena, which is the stupid way around. So he died. Yeah, there was the woman gathering body parts, and she kept some a little for herself.
Didn't she like take the ring off and put the
No, she couldn't take the ring off, so she put the thing, a little snack later, and she'll have the ring too. It's horrible, bad, yeah.
Can we watch the Quest of the Holy Grail as part of?
We're going to do a little bit of that for the Middle Ages, but only a little bit. So. What really should get your attention is in the movie Gladiator, everyone's dun 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 dun. Everyone's just into every single little move, and the music is there, and everything focuses on the action. In the Life of Brian clips, nobody really watches what's going on in the arena too closely. Instead, they're talking. Now think about the last time you went to a ball game. Okay? People did that back in the olden days, before video games. They went to a ball game, baseball even, and they'd sit and watch and have hot dogs and talks, and there's a seventh inning stretch, and you cheer. You cheer your home team, and you boo the bad guys, and you make fun of the umpires. That's what you do. But no one, unless you're a professional coach or a talent scout, no one pays attention to everything going on the field. Not in a baseball game, not in a football game, not in the World Series, not in the Super Bowl. There are things that are boring, and there are things that get your attention. It is realistic that people would go to the arena and they would talk with one another and occasionally look at something interesting happening on the screen or happening down in the arena. So men were dying while people were ignoring them because they were too busy having a conversation about what they were going to have for dinner. That's the reality. And the crowd, Babe Ruth, the great Yankee, once said, "Today a hero, tomorrow a bum." And he experienced that. He was one of the most famous men in the world, and then when he retired from baseball, he basically blew all his money, and he ended up sort of just forgotten. And it bothered him. It was not a pleasant end.
What's happening?
It's what?
Tom Brady right now.
Tom Brady?
He announced he's coming back out of retirement again.
Look, the man should have. I'm not going to say anything. The man was a great quarterback at one time. But the height of good manners is knowing when to leave. This is good advice. Okay, so having said all this about gladiator games, what does it say about the Romans? It says they're pretty decadent. They go out for an afternoon of entertainment. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Guns down! And they get angry if you don't. This Maximus the Merciful thing may have happened once or twice, but in general terms, if somebody lost, they wanted that someone to die. After all, these are condemned men, and they're funeral games. People have to die for the nice soul to make its way past the scary gods to get to the afterlife. So death is a part of it. And Roman fathers would say, "I'm taking the boy out to the arena." Isn't he too young for that? No, he's got to learn how life works. Hey, Daddy, what are those? Those are intestines, son. They came out of that guy. Can you see him twitching? Yeah, Daddy. It looks kind of scary. Just toughen up, Buttercup. Be a man. And that's what they did. They did this to toughen up and get ready for battle. But as time went on, fewer and fewer Romans engaged in battle themselves, so it just became blood sport. Now, there are other things in Life of Brian that I have to show you now that pertain to Rome in general. So we pause. So, first off, back in the day, Latin teachers were among the most fearsome and scary teachers of all. And they would do things like grab you by the ear if you didn't get it right. This is before my time. But you who had Mr. Williams had one of the nicer Latin teachers I've ever heard of. To my knowledge, he doesn't use physical pain at all in the teaching of proper conjugation. Romani ite domum. Romans go home. What have the Romans ever done for us? Honestly, that's one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. because the Romans did do so very much for their empire. But of course, they were hated for it. And my very favorite suicide terrorists in the world is shown in that last scene. The Judean People's Front crack suicide squad. Honestly, if our enemies in the war on terror fought that way, I'd have more respect for them. There are Buddhists. Everything okay?
Yeah, there's a spider. That's about
I want it.
We have shoes for a reason. Kill it.
Where is it?
Right there.
No, don't kill it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's taking
Kill
the
it.
side.
Okay, I don't have three-dimensional vision. Okay, get the door. Get the door. Oh, just not there.
I'd be fine with that.
Mischief managed.
yeah, you will.
So,
That's gonna be your
there are Buddhists who occasionally will do a suicide attack for what they believe in. What they'll do is they'll light themselves on fire and die. It's gruesome, it's horrific, but they'll do it because it is a protest and it is their life.
But isn't it also your life, and that's why they do it? Because, like,
Well, in effect, you're harming the cosmic all, yes.
Yeah.
And also, it is disturbing to watch another human being do that to themselves. And actually, Christians don't believe it's just our life. It's also life that God gave us, so it's still sort of God's. In any event, would that our terrorist enemies, instead of killing themselves while killing lots of other people, just killed themselves. I mean, it would be better. It would be better if they got into a plane just themselves, nobody else, and flew into to a cliff or something. Yeah, that'll show them. Fine, do it. But taking other people with you is murder, and it is not justified in service to God or country. Not that kind of murder, anyway. Not in my mind. So I love the Judean People's Front. Any questions, comments, or thoughts? There was so much life of Brian, it was strange. Yeah. Anyway, tomorrow we will continue the story, entering the crisis of the Roman Empire in the 3rd century. Bye.